What's up, everybody? This is Eddie with MSC, and welcome to MSC Live with Kennametal, a demonstration designed to deliver on our promise, built to make you better. Now, with today being an interactive and engaging live stream, we not only encourage, but we anticipate each and every one of you to leave any questions or comments that you may have in the chat box on the side of the screen. But before you jump on in, make sure you are logged into your YouTube account. So get logged in, jump on in, and hop in the fun, because you never know. We may be able to take your question or comment, pull it up on the screen, and answer it in real time. Also, following the demonstration today, head on over to MSC as well as Kennametal's YouTube pages. I need you to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell to turn on notifications. Last but certainly not least, give us a huge thumbs up. So for today's demonstration, we're going to be making plenty of chips, starting here at our lathe, then transitioning over to our mill, and all of the magic happening at the spindle is going to be backed by the incredible tooling provided by our great friends at Kennametal. So to add even more immense value to all of you viewers today, we have not one, not two, but three industry-leading experts from the Kennametal team to guide us through every step of the way. So without further ado, let's bring in our very first friend from the team at Kennametal, our good friend Steve. Hey Steve, thank you so much for joining us for our demonstration today. Hopefully you're doing well. But before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do for the team at Kennametal?
Okay, thanks, Eddie. First, I really appreciate being here with the MSC team and Flex Live. Really enjoy doing these demos with you. I'm Steve Archambault, and I'm the Regional Product Manager for Kennametal, in charge of solid carbide end mills here in the Americas. I'm here 34 years, spent a lot of time in R&D, development, applications, a lot of time at the spindle, product design, and the rest. So, looking forward to talking about the KOR Series today with you.
Well, very good. Well, thank you so much, Steve, for joining us. Really looking forward to your segment today. And secondly, let's bring in again our second guest from the team, our good friend Tony. Hey Tony, thank you so much for joining us today. You know the drill, man. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do for the team at Kennametal.
Hey, you got it, Eddie. Great to be back with you and Aaron again. My name's Tony McLean. I'm a regional product manager for indexable milling for the Americas for Kennametal. So I deal with all the indexable milling products, work with global product managers. Kind of like Steve, new product development, application in the field, working with our field guys and MSC and metalworking specialists as well. Been here almost 11 years.
There we go. Well, again, thank you as well for joining us on the stream today. Very much looking forward to your segments that you're going to be guiding us through. Hey, and lastly, we're going to bring in our third industry expert from the Kennametal team, our good friend Greg. Greg, thank you so much for joining us today, man. Hey, before we get rocking and rolling in your segment, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what you do for the team at Kennametal?
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. Great to be here. My name is Greg Sage. Like Tony and Steve, I'm a regional product manager, but I handle our turning products. Been with Kennametal for right at 15 years now. Gone through, design engineering, field sales, applications, and now, product management. So excited to be here and talk about some of our products today.
Very good. Excited that you are here as well. Really looking forward to diving in. But before we get started, we always got to introduce my right-hand man, our master of machines, Aaron. Hey, you ready to make some chips today?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you mentioned, we're going to be bouncing back between the lathe and the mill. We got a lot of great tools from the team at Kennametal, and we're looking to have some fun today.
That's right. Absolutely going to be having some fun. So the gang is all here. The stage is set. The spindle's ready to go, and we're getting ready to hit that cycle start. So as we do, Greg, you're going to be leading us through the conversation regarding the Beyond Evolution tooling. So we're going to pull up some HD close-up video and have you give us the quick level of insight before we get this thing turning.
Sure. Yeah, our Beyond Evolution tooling, it's a single-ended grooving and profiling turning platform. So really you can do everything from, OD grooving, deep grooving, cut off, face grooving, as well as, length turning, profiling. We have square nose inserts, round inserts, and then a new V profile insert that we'll show you here later on as well.
No, looks great. Awesome to be able to see some of these tools up close. So Aaron, if you're ready to go, we're going to hit cycle start. And as we get this turning, we're actually going to bring you inside the machine. We have an HD camera at the spindle so we can see every single chip being made. And as we do this, Greg, give us a little bit of a play-by-play, man.
Sure. So as you can see here, what we're utilizing that full radius insert that we had shown in the footage there, and what we're doing some dynamic turning, copy turning, going back and forth, fully utilizing that full radius, and being able to kind of go back and forth, not wasted motions, and turn this down, and just really be able to quickly make a profile and do it well with this tool.
No, it's wonderful to be able to see this happening live, see the chips being made, that progress happening in real time. And also remember, as we're going through this demonstration, all of you viewers, hop in that chat box. We'll pull up any questions or comments you may have and answer them with our expert in real time. And until those come in, Greg, I got a question for you. Obviously, the modular blades make a difference. What type of benefits are we seeing from there? Why does that matter?
Thanks, Rick. So with this platform, we have integral tools, so like what you're seeing here, where it's all built in the tool holder, but we also have the ability to use our modular blades. And what those are is it gives us the ability really to kind of jump between different applications with this tool. So we've got face grooving blades, that are going to have sweeps built into those to be able to handle those face grooves. Deep grooving blades, cutoff blades, all of that kind of stuff. Really be able to kind of help up the versatility in what you can do. With this tool, so that as opposed to having to have a bunch of individual tool holders, maybe you've got a single tool holder that you can then swap the blades out. The nice thing about the blades is they have the internal through coolant just like the integral holders do, so you're not missing out on anything. You're just really maximizing that flexibility.
Maximizing the flexibility. Solid observation there. And then when it comes to the triple V seating, really, why does that matter and what does that provide? Stability, tool life, what are we looking at, Greg?
Sure. So, most of the time when you're talking about a grooving platform, you've got like a top and bottom V that are helping to lock that insert into the pocket. And we've got the similar, those similar features on the Beyond Evolution. One of the things, though, with a single-ended grooving solution that sometimes you have trouble with is that side load. And so once you apply, cutting force and side load onto it, as we are in this, application you're watching right now, that can become a bit unstable in the pocket. So the triple V feature, what it features is also a proprietary back V that allows us to add a lot more stability to this insert in the pocket. Really, we get stability, and the ability to do things that a lot of times you need a longer, double-ended style insert to be able to do. But once again, by doing that, upping the versatility, upping the flexibility of this, because now we can get into deeper grooves, we can get into deeper profiles, where maybe a double-ended insert wouldn't fit because of, running into the back corners, things like that.
Right, no, absolutely makes sense. And then as we're seeing here, we've got a little bit of coolant happening here, a little bit of chips flying around. So what is the precise and preferred coolant strategy for the Beyond Evolution tooling?
Sure. So, one of the biggest things that you run into, with grooving applications, especially the deeper that you go, external coolant, obviously, you can get, maybe in an application like we're watching here, you could get some external coolant where you needed it. But one of the big things about Beyond Evolution is the ability to plumb that coolant straight through the tool holder, and then it comes down through the clamping finger directly on the top of the insert, getting it right to the cutting edge, so that we're helping to control chips, we're helping to, keep the insert edge and the material cool, and you're getting it right down in where it needs to be. So, those deep grooves are no longer an issue. You've got the coolant right where you want it. You're not being forced to kind of, do the, live with the best you can do with external coolant when you're using Beyond Evolution.
Right. And then, so I've heard, in a variety of forms, just the level of versatility that the Beyond Evolution brings to the spindle. But no one's going to speak about that better than yourself. So fill us in, Greg.
Yeah, really, like I said, I mean, we've got the ability in a single platform here to do everything from, deep grooving, cutoff, applying side loads where you're going to do profiling like we're showing here, as well as turning with our, our square-nosed inserts, plunging, really anything you can think of, you can really accomplish with the Beyond Evolution, and all with that ability to have that coolant right where you need it. So really, just the versatility and it's a capability to really tackle most tasks on a shop floor are, pretty unrivaled.
No, we're seeing this just absolutely make some incredible progress at our spindle cam here, being able to see not only the chips being made, but seeing that coolant strategy that you just discussed really play out in real time. That provides a lot of value for all those who are watching this happen live. But lastly, as we're continuing to run this cycle time out here, I'm curious where this specific tool would shine.
Yeah, it's a great question. Obviously a lot of general engineering type applications. So, once again, that versatility really plays into that, being able to tackle lots of different jobs, in a shop. Um, you know, we pair this with our universal PVD coated grades. So those are really well suited to go across material groups. So, steels, stainlesses, non-ferrous materials, high temp alloys, cast irons. So really, most materials that you're going to be able to come up against, you're going to be able to apply these tools. And then specifically, we do have a new expansion that we have been able to bring to market here that has really kind of been born more out of our specific aerospace applications and tooling that we've done as specials over the years. And that's going to be our new 45-degree angle holders.
No, absolutely. So what we're going to do, I know we have a little bit of footage on the 45-degree holder, so we're going to have our media team pull those up.
Yeah, so you can see here, a lot of times when we're talking about doing profiling work, it's not just straight profiles on the outside, of parts. You've got to be able to reach down in, something where, a 90-degree tool or a straight out tool isn't going to be able to reach in and get to it. So what we've done is we've brought out these 45-degree holders. We have them as integral, as you see here, as well as using our modular blades that we talked about. And they're going to be utilizing this new V-style insert. So that's a 35-degree included angle insert. These holders still have all the same great features in terms of the triple V, to be able to lock that insert into the pocket well, the through tool coolant to be able to bring that coolant out right across the top of that insert to the edge where you need it. And the 45 really helps us be able to get in, profile some of those hard to reach areas, get into those, kind of cuts that you just can't get to with, conventional tools.
Mm-hmm. No, this all makes sense, and I'm glad you're able to walk us through that. And additionally, for those who want to see what the finished product looks like on the Beyond Evolution, we have a close-up here. So when we're looking at the finish and everything in these two middle parts, Greg, is this what we should expect every single time? What are your comments, man?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is one of those, once again, to not to overburden the idea of versatility, but, when you're talking about, you can plunge out, use square nose inserts, and rough out material. Then you're coming through with either that profiling V insert or the full radius profiling inserts, you could really expect to leave a really nice finish, get really, really good tolerancing and have nice repeatability when it comes to, what you're expecting on your parts.
Well, this is great and wonderful to be able to see that side-by-side real finished look as well as watching it happen in real time. So now we'll be able to check that out. I know another tool that we're going to be introducing and talking about today is the Fix8. You know the drill. We're going to pull up some HD footage to get a real close look. And you're going to let us know what we need to know, Greg.
Yeah, so here we've got our new Fix8 tool that we have just launched this fall. So what this is it's tangential turning, and what that means is that instead of the insert being, mounted radially like a typical ISO insert is, this is mounted tangentially, as you can see. So what does that do for us? Well, carbide likes to be compressed. So when we mount an insert tangentially, you can see how much more carbide thickness there is underneath that cutting edge. And with that compression that we get, the more carbide thickness we can get, the better we can get edge life, tool life can be up, productivity can be up. Another nice feature of this is an 8-edged insert. So, you're able to, kind of spread that cost per edge out across 8 different edges, which really helps save money. Once again, this is a through tool coolant type of application. So we, as you can see, there's exits above the insert there that are going to be aiding in chip breaking and cooling down that edge, as well as you can see some exits below the insert, directly below the cutting edge and off to the side there. Those are going to be blasting coolant up across that insert as well to help keep that body cool, which is once again, just going to help aid in tool life and just, overall performance. You can see there's some markings on the side there of those tools showing the spare parts. So, we really wanted to make it easy so exactly what you need, in terms of spare parts for this, clamps, screws, shims, all those kind of things. These come in, square shank varieties, as well as you can see modular tooling there. So yeah, just a great new tool that we have, really aimed at the medium machining and roughing type of markets. We've got grades that we've released for this that are going to cover steel, stainless steel, and cast iron applications right now. So yeah, just a really exciting new tool. Something new to hit the market to really shake things up.
Now, thank you so much for giving us really the insider scoop on not only the Beyond Evolution tooling, but additionally the Fix8. All impressive to be able to see, and thank you for your expertise, Greg. And as we move on to the next segment of our demo today, we're going to be bringing in our second industry leading expert, Steve, who's going to help guide us through KOR End Mills. Let's bring him on in. There we go, Steve. Hey, thanks again for joining us, for hanging out. You know the drill, man. We're going to be talking today about the KOR End Mills. Steve, what do we need to know, man?
Well, the KOR Series is a product line developed by Kennametal specifically for dynamic milling, trocoil milling, high-speed milling. And there's 3 different versions of it, all multi-fluted with chip breakers. And there's a KOR 5DA for dynamic milling of aluminum, a KOR 5DS for dynamic milling of stainless and steels, and the KOR 6DT for dynamic milling of titanium. So dynamic milling really is state-of-the-art milling today. A lot more people utilizing this because the programs are there now. The machine controllers are much better, read ahead. And it's all about efficiency and tool life. And it's taken advantage of chip thinning, which allows you a much greater surface footage and feed rates. And it's utilizing the whole length of the tool. So tool life jumps significantly. Instead of using the bottom portion of that tool like you would in your conventional milling approaches, you're using the full length. So it's deep axial cut, light radial cut. And dynamic milling isn't just about light cuts and deep axial. It's about taking out air time or wasted time in a program. And those programs exist today. They were limited years ago, but there's a lot of versions out there. This is sped up a little bit, obviously. But the concept is rather than taking shallow, heavy cuts, is to do exactly what you're seeing here. Very efficient way, very high metal removal rates, ability to really increase the surface footage and feed rates, and utilize the full length of the tool. So it's higher feeds, higher speeds, lower cutting forces. So you don't need the same amount of horsepower you might if you want to bury something like our HARVI 1TE. It really is a great approach. It's very popular today. It's very efficient. And these tools being geared towards specific materials really gives you an advantage to focus. It's very popular in aerospace with the larger parts where you've got 1x4, 1x5 inch deep pockets that you have to create. In the case of the KOR 5DA, it does come with a coolant thru option, which is really nice because you're going to create a lot of chips. And they're available in 3 and 5 times diameter. The KOR 5DA 5 times diameter is coming out in the next few months. But just, it's state-of-the-art milling. It's the right approach these days to utilize the machines and the programs that exist and really extend tool life. So a lot of advantages there. Light spindles capability. You don't need that, 50 cat HSK 125s to get this done with these tools.
Long list of advantages indeed. So we're going to get a quick close-up of the tools we have here sitting next to me. And if you could, Steve, just help us identify just what the differences are between these main 3.
So on the left there, you got the KOR 5DA in the 3 times diameter. That, like I say, has the coolant through. The 5 times is coming out shortly. In the middle, you got the KOR 5DS, which is designed for that stainless and for steels. And then on the right there, very popular in the aerospace customers. We're heavy in aerospace, and MSC plays in that arena as well. That's the KOR 6DT, and that's been a game changer. That's based on our Aero 3 design and the HARVI Aero 3 design, which was, the only tool to beat the Boeing challenge. And significant improvement with the chip breaker and the ability to go in and do that dynamic milling and break the chip, because if you're going to use that full length of that cutter, that chip's going to be the length of that cutter plus the helical wrap unless you break it. So in order to be successful, certainly in pockets, you need to crack that chip. Side milling, you might get away with it, but you don't want 4 or 5 inch long chips if you can help it. So that's what this is all about. It's a great product, something I'm a big fan of for many years in the trocoil and dynamic milling. So great product offering.
Now it sounds like, and Steve, I really appreciate you helping us really dive deep into the intricacies and the features and benefits of the KOR End Mills. Thank you so much. And as we move on to our next segment, now that we've got everything set up here at the mill, we're going to bring in our 3rd industry leading expert from the team at Kennametal, our good friend Tony. All right, Tony, hey, welcome back, man. You're going to talk to us about a very interesting tool that some would call the HARVI Ultra 8X, which sounds like a really, really cool name, but it's also a really cool tool. Let's pull up some of that HD footage and have you walk us through our first level understanding of the HARVI Ultra 8X.
Oh, absolutely. So the HARVI Ultra 8X was kind of designed from a customer need. One of our largest customers who runs a lot of high temp alloys, titanium to be more specific, was looking for a tool that would maintain very high cubes as far as metal removal rate and substantial tool life. So with that, our developers and engineers developed the HARVI Ultra 8X, and the 8 actually stands for the fact that the inserts have 8 indexes, so that's where the 8 comes from. So it's really just a phenomenal tool, as you see there in the picture.
No, it looks great, and what's going to look even better is us seeing this live at the spindle. So we're going to have Aaron here get the cycle ready to go. We're going to transition all of you viewers into our spindle cam, and we're going to watch this bad boy run live. And as we do, Tony, let us know what's going on, man.
Yeah, so, you know, the HARVI Ultra 8X, like I said, was originally designed and developed for high temp alloys and was kind of proven in the aerospace industry, but we've had some additions since the launch of this tool, which has been a couple of years ago, with our new LE inserts, which is more designed for more pH stainless steels, and in this case, this 1018 steel here that you can see running. So, you know, you may look at this and think this is a very large helical tool, but when you think about the depth of cut we're taking there, which is over 2 inches, if you were to run around that with your standard tool, which maybe has a 1/2 inch depth of cut, maybe 3/4 depth of cut, you're able to do it all in one pass, which ultimately just means, you know, time savings, money savings, high metal removal rates. So that's one of the flexibility of this tool. Also with the additional KSSM8 12.7 millimeter IC inserts, it now covers pretty much all material classes except for non-ferrous. So it covers your steel, alloy steels, high temp alloys, stainless, and cast iron.
So it obviously has a wide range of capabilities in the materials it can work in. But one thing I think we really need to highlight for all the viewers today is the cost per cutting edge. Tony, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. So, you know, when you think about carbide and in our business, you know, it's all about, in the customer's business, I guess, when he buys one, is how many edges you get to use. So with this having 8, it's one of the only helical mills out on the market today that has 8 indexes. So that gives you really cost-effective cost per insert, I should say, when you're loading this thing up. It also has multiple different corner radii for what we call the leading row or the front row of cutter inserts, which start at 31 thousandths, go all the way up to 1/4 inch. And right now we're just kind of showcasing some trochoidal milling. So when you think about the different ways, you know, I've ran this tool myself personally in 6AL4V using trochoidal passes like this, as well as you can see here in the 1018. So it gives you the versatility and the flexibility for the different types of applications that you may want to utilize a tool like this in.
No, this is great, and to be able to see this run in real time, making those chips, doing these passes, it's really great to be able to see. And I know we also have a slow motion video that looks even better. So we're going to pull that up and have you give us a play-by-play on that.
Absolutely. This here actual video is in 6AL4V, and that's a full slot that you're seeing being machined in there. So, you know, it's a very deep depth of cut. You can see there the tool life was 90 plus minutes. So, you know, these type of geometries on the inserts and different grades that we have available for it really does help maximize your tool life. And when you think about, you know, it's all about metal removal rates at the end of the day. You know, how long a tool runs and how many cubes you can remove. And you can definitely utilize that with this. And with the LE and then the KSSM8 additional 12.7 millimeter IC inserts, we've found that we've been able to run this in smaller horsepower, lower torque machines as well. So it's really kind of taken the HARVI Ultra 8X to the next level. That's no longer just for your high temp alloys anymore. It's for your general engineering, it's for your job shops. It's anywhere where you want to really maximize your metal removal rates.
No, this absolutely makes sense. And now that we've completed our specific cycle, one thing that I know is really important about the HARVI Ultra 8X is that spacing that you have between those inserts. And I know it has a variety of benefits. So to help you cue this up, we're gonna have our media team, oh, he's already on top of it. Tell us about why this matters, Tony.
Hey, absolutely. When it comes to milling and the dynamics of milling, there's a lot of what words I want to use here, a lot of physics that go into it, I guess. So what you're seeing here is a differential helix and pitch on the cutter. So I guess to kind of simplify that, you can see how it looks like the inserts are staggered. Well, that's the differential helix, and it's the helix and the pitch. So none of those are on the same plane. So what that does, it helps minimize vibration and chatter. So basically it just breaks up the harmonics and makes the tool run very, very smooth.
No, this all makes sense, and we appreciate you diving into really those major components of the HARVI Ultra 8X. And before we wrap things up today, we need to feature another incredible tool in the MIL 412 KT. Let's pull up a video of this bad boy in action and have you tell us exactly what we need to know, Tony.
Oh, absolutely. We've kind of highlighted this tool a few times. You can see it's the MIL 412 KT, which is 12 millimeter IC Kennametal tangential. So that's kind of what the MIL 412 KT. The 4 is just got 4 indexes on the insert, and it is a tangential mounted cutter, so it's not a radial mount. So again, like Greg had alluded to earlier, it puts that strength into the compression longitudinally into the insert instead of out there tapping on the edge that you might get on a radial. So it really gives it the added strength. Plus you can see the core diameter of the actual cutter body itself is larger. So it just gives you a lot more strength and really reduces the bending and the flex moments that you can get sometimes in longer overhangs and things of that nature. So really just a great tool. We all hate interrupted cuts. This is a beast right here. You look at this video. If you had an application where you were having to run something like this, your shop floor guys are going to hate it. Just a ton of holes in this thing. You're going across, it's constantly interrupted. The inserts are entering and exiting at different angles, and you can see this thing just tears it right up. And we'll show the picture of the insert when we're done here in just a second, and you can see that there's no chipping, no wear. It actually looks like the insert's hardly even been touched. So again, it just speaks volumes to the fact of the type of heavy duty applications that you can use the MIL 412 KT in. It's also a 90-degree shoulder mill, so you can use it as just purely a face milling tool, or you can use it as a shoulder mill tool as well, with the added strength of the tangential inserts.
Hey, that is nothing short of impressive. And again, we appreciate you diving into the MIL 412 KT and telling us everything that we need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen who are viewing this live, that is actually going to conclude our chip making portion. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in each individual expert on to give us a quick recap to make sure that we know everything that we need to know. And Tony, while we have you here with us today, for all the customers viewing this stream, just give us a quick recap of everything you just guided us through.
Oh, absolutely. So just with the additional inserts that are now available for the HARVI Ultra 8X, it's no longer an aerospace tool. Use it in your general engineering, use it in your energy accounts. You can run all the different types of materials, steel, alloy steels, cast iron, stainless, and of course high temp alloy, which it's definitely made its name on. The MIL 412 KT, think about your face milling needs, those really tough, difficult applications where you really need something with some really good tool life, where maybe your other cutters and things are chipping out on you and things of that nature, and bring the MIL 412 KT in and give it a run for its money. So really just two great tools to really help, boost up your productivity and metal removal rates.
There you go. Boosted up productivity and metal removal rates. Hey, Tony, thank you so much for your expertise in today's episode. Next, we're going to be bringing back Greg. Hey, Greg, thanks again for joining us. You know the drill, man. Tell us about the Beyond Evolution and the Fix8.
Yeah, the Beyond Evolution, just a great tool. I mean, the ability to go from grooving to, plunge and turn, to profile, to cut off, face grooving, I mean, you name it, the tool can do it. The ability to get that coolant right down into the cutting edge, right exactly where you want it to help control heat, control chips. I mean, it's just a fantastic tool. You know, and like we demonstrated today, you know, that dynamic turning ability, that ability to go back and forth profiling, you know, not wasting motion, you know, not like Steve was mentioning with the end mills, not cutting a bunch of air. You know, we're engaged in the material and we're really utilizing that full radius, you know, just saving time, being more productive, you know, just an awesome set of tools there.
There we go, saving time, being more
the
productive,
Fix8,
absolutely.
You know,
go ahead, man, sorry. You want to fill some
Sorry,
on
there's a
Fix8?
little lag there for a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, you know, and then the Fix8, you know, just an awesome new tool that we've got out on the market there. You know, the ability to come in to do medium and rough machining. You know, that tangential insert. You know, the strength of it, as Tony and I have both talked about. You know, being able to handle those heavier depths of cut. I mean, you know, with that on length turning, we've got, you know, about 12 millimeter half-inch depth of cut we can accomplish. You know, faced machining we can do, you know, about 4 millimeter depth of cut there. You know, so really just once again, a great tool through Coolant, getting it right where you need it. You know, the ability to use it, you know, just across the board really in a lot of varied applications. So just another great tool that we've brought to market there.
Wonderful. Hey, well, thank you so much, Greg, for guiding us through every single chip being made and letting us dive into both incredible tools. So thank you so much. And lastly, we're going to bring back Steve. All right, Steve, again, thank you so much for joining us. Give us that quick wrap up of the KOR end mills that you originally guided us through in this episode. No worries. Hey, we must have lost Steve. Hey, completely happens. Technology, we love it. Can't live without it. So that being said, hey, for those who are looking for more information on not only the Beyond Evolution, but the Fix8, the KOR end mills, the HARVI Ultra 8X, or the Mill 412 KT, make sure you check out the link here, mscdirect.com/products/Kennametal products, or check out Kennametal's website directly. So before we wrap things up here today, though, we always love to get the insight from the machinist himself. So, Aaron, how was your experience in utilizing each and every one of these tools at the spindle, man?
Yeah, so I'm going to start with the Beyond Evolution tool over on the lathe. You know, the versatility was huge. Being able to make a groove like that, copy turn, but especially to get the coolant through the tool. Like Greg had mentioned before, a lot of those hard to reach areas, even if you're using external coolant. You know, if you're getting down in a groove like that, now your part is essentially blocking that coolant to get to your cutting tool. And so being able to plumb that coolant directly through the tool really solves a lot of problems in that aspect. And then, you know what we saw over here on the mill with the HARVI Ultra 8X, a big beefy tool. But in case anybody didn't know, this is just a Cat 40 spindle. So being able to have that versatility to use a tool like that on a smaller horsepower machine, you know, and he talked about all the different grades with all the different materials that you can machine. You know, it's just a great tool. And even the tools that we didn't run, a lot of versatility and benefits that come along with those tools. And you know, the team over at Kennametal is doing it right. They're solving problems and doing a great job.
Wonderful. Well, we appreciate your real insight. Really love it. And did we by chance get our good friend Steve back? Let's bring him on in. We missed him. Steve, welcome back, man. Hey, well, you know the drill. Tell us what we need to know about those KOR end mills.
You know, what can you do? Yeah, sorry about that. The internet doesn't always cooperate. So look, the KOR Series, you know, that we call it King of Roughers, you can keep in mind that he's also able to achieve great finishes. So dynamic milling has really become popular over the last few years. And there's a lot of tools out there with chip breakers, but there aren't many tools out there that are material specific like the KOR.
Hey, no worries, no worries. He got a little bit in there, and we are still very thankful of all the insight that Steve provided us today, as well as all of our other experts that we have. So as we're wrapping things up today, we appreciate our experts, the team at Kennametal. We appreciate Aaron for making all these chips happen, and we thank all of you for joining us. But following the demo today, make sure you head on over to MSC as well as Kennametal's YouTube pages. I need you to hit that subscribe button, ring the bell to turn on notifications. Last but certainly not least, give us a huge thumbs up. So again, thank you all so much. This is Eddie with MSC, and we appreciate you joining us for this segment of MSC Live with Kennametal, a demonstration designed to deliver on our promise, built to make you better.